sitting here once you play? All right. Just thought I'd keep you company, but if you're going to abandon me, I don't want to sit there all by myself. Thrilled to see that you're a Disney person.
Oh, yeah?
So, how Disney are you?
Well, I haven't been in. I've never been in yet. So I'm not that person, but
Right. Okay. Well, who's your favorite character?
probably me. But I think that's
Yeah. My daughter, when she was younger.
yeah.
Well, actually, both kids did. Everybody loves Stitch. at some point.
Yeah.
All the Pixar.
Yes.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Norman Rotary Club on this wonderful, beautiful, not snowy Thursday, January 16th meeting. We like to start our meetings with a moment of reflection, so please take a moment for silent prayer or reflection, please. Thank you. We'll have Bob start us off with the flag salute, and Zane will follow up with the four-way test.
Please join me in our pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much. You can be seated. Well, I would just like to say that I'm very happy to see this room so full. Last Thursday, we did not call it soon enough, and the 12 of us that
A lot of leftovers.
made it here had a wonderful time. Joe brought some guests, and it was his birthday. We had a wonderful time celebrating, but it was definitely a unique meeting to have that view. Now we have a new protocol in place for when it snows way more than it predicts on the morning of. Anyway, we were all missed if you weren't here, and thank you for those that did brave it. And thank you to Jenny and Kurt for taking the food last week. Definitely, she was excited to use her four-wheel drive to get around instead of taking the leftover food. Everyone got food to take home too, so we got to feed our families. Okay, we're going to start with.
We have two visiting Rotarians, and this must be the visiting Rotarian table, maybe. Larry Hazelwood back with us. He's with downtown Oklahoma City 29. Say hi to Larry. And apparently Evan didn't want to wake up early this week. He's with the Suitor Club, Evan Taylor from the Suitor Club.
Thank you for visiting. Welcome today. And then we have Whitney has a guest.
Hi, I'm Whitney, and this is Chantel McDonald, and she works at the Y with me, and so I just brought her as a guest today.
Thank you. And Joe has a guest, so.
Yes, my guest today is Ken Sherman. Ken's a retired banker, lives in Norman. We go way back to days in Altus High School. Go Bulldogs.
Oh, go dogs. Oh, yeah. And like okay. In December, like last year, I asked, oh, okay. Lynn has a guest, so sorry.
Thank you. I have a guest, my husband Jerry Weber, who's retired from the University of Oklahoma, his son Jeff Weber, and granddaughter Allie Weber Miller.
had my dear friend, Jamie Swain, give her red badge talk, and I absolutely forgot that meeting. And she had a cute little game we were gonna play. It was, going to be, Christmas related. So now she's just gonna come up and tell her story about who she is and why she joined Rotary briefly, and then we'll get to the student of the month. I did not forget Rick, but I cannot miss Jamie this week. So here you go, Jamie.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Swain. Apparently, myself and the other ladies of Rotary got the color block memo today. So I appreciate that. Looks like we did that on purpose. So my name is Jamie Swain. I moved to Norman in about 2005 to attend college here. Also followed a boy. And worked in the restaurant industry for the past 18 years. Was food and beverage director for about 10 years at Sooner Legends, which is unfortunately no longer there, which is very sad to me. But that is where I met my lovely husband, and best friend, of course, and have really started my career here in Norman, and then moved on to McNally's Restaurant Group for about 3 years, and opened concepts for them in Oklahoma City, which was wonderful and fun, and got to learn so many things. And then moved on to working with Bergen Enterprises here in Norman, and was a district manager with their Pizza Hut franchise for about 4 years before the university came calling. And I now am at the Center for Public Management at OU. I'm their learning coordinator and implementation manager for the child welfare new specialist training contract. So we are responsible for training all of the new child welfare workers in the state of Oklahoma. Unfortunately, we see about 600 new specialists every year, because that is not an easy job. So the rate of turnover is tremendously high. We pride ourselves on ensuring that we can provide the best possible support and the best possible training, because it does greatly impact the children of Oklahoma. So it's a very rewarding position. I get to have an impact on that and not be the one who has to actually go out and do it. So it's a wonderful compromise for me. I have an 11-year-old son, and he attends Salon International Public Charter School here in Norman. He's been there since its inception in 2018, and is doing their Spanish track. He is now fluent in Spanish, which is something that I could not say in 5th grade. So that's fantastic for him. Recently went on his first big semi-international trip to Puerto Rico this year with the rest of his classmates, and really got to test out those language skills, which was, as a parent, incredible to watch. As far as for me, why I joined Rotary? Liz has been so kind to take me to all of the clubs she has been to in Norman, and I have gotten to participate in a lot of different Rotary activities over the years, from Road Rally to Tour and very much enjoyed them. Now that life has settled down and the university is more of a normal schedule, not the restaurant world, it was time for me to get back involved in the community, and Rotary was the obvious choice for me. It is wonderful to be in a room full of so many like-minded and community-focused people. It's always been a highlight of my career, whether it was on the board for Habitat for Humanity here in Norman, or Norman Next, and various other organizations. So I'm very excited to be a part of Rotary. I have already received a tremendously warm welcome, and I appreciate that. Listening to, the secret reason I joined, just to be very honest, is most of you are incredibly well-traveled, and I need to plan vacations for like the next 10 years. So I'm just gonna hop from table to table and get all of the travel tips I possibly can. But one of the really wonderful things about Rotary is this is one of the only clubs that you can join at any point in your life and stay involved in for many years. I very much look forward to this being a part of my life from now until it can no longer be. Being a global citizen is one of the reasons I chose to send my son to an international school. And if I have chosen that for his educational path, then I should really put my money where my mouth is and try to do that myself. So I'm also on the Tour board of directors. I am the sponsorship chair, so you will be hearing too much from me over the coming months about how we need assistance in getting sponsorships and kind of revamping the Latourman brand and ensuring its success for the future. So again, I look forward to bringing more information about Latourman and what we will be doing this year. We are very excited about some upcoming changes and some potential ways for each club member to be actively involved. So yes, again, it's very nice to officially meet everyone. My name is JD Swain, and I look forward to getting to chat with everyone individually more.
I've gotten her plugged in right away, as y'all can see. She is also already serving on our board for our club as well. So now, with no further ado, we'll have the student of the month to come up with Rick, please.
Well, hello again. We have another crop of students, and they're just as good as the previous ones, if not better. Today, we don't have Andrew Wheeler. He's from Connections Academy, and apparently he graduated. He's gone on in life, so he won't be joining us, but congratulations to Andrew. We also have Jamie Coranda, Norman North High School, and Jesse Wong, Norman High School. And I'll start with Jamie. Jamie, can you introduce your folks? No, but you're not. Yes, a little bit about your senior year.
My name is Jamie Coranda, and I'm from Norman North High School. And I'm here with my mom, Angela Coranda, and my dad, Stephen Coranda. This senior year has been really fun for me. I've been in different leadership positions through student council, so I got to help plan homecoming week and a winter dance for our school, and those have just been really rewarding. We just finished up our Spud Week, if any of y'all know what that is. It's our philanthropy program at school, and that was just such a good time because as a senior I was more involved and I got to meet the recipients, and some of them were even my friends, and so it was just more meaningful and more impactful this year. So that was definitely a big highlight of my senior year so far. And also the Rotary Club, being a part of Rotary Interacts has been really beneficial to me, and I've learned a lot of things, especially meeting this club. It's just been really helpful to me developing leadership, and I've had a good senior year so far. I really liked it.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessie Wong. I'm a senior at Norman High School. Okay. I don't know how to follow that. So I've just kind of been working a lot, honestly, a lot of college application things, but I've gotten to really find volunteering opportunities. I'm the president of my school's National Honor Society, so I'm doing a lot of coordinating, trying to connect our students with local groups, or whether it be like the bigger things like the food bank, but just getting more people involved. Sometimes I go up to the city. I help out with Oklahoma Medical Research, so I'm part of a team leadership group where we kind of go out to raise money and just learn more about kind of the lab environment and some of the research work they're doing. And I really liked getting to do that because I get to talk to people about it. I serve with Dr. Nick over there on his superintendent's committee. It's fun. We met yesterday, but getting to learn about the new developments just in the Norman Public Schools District, like the CALS, the Center for Arts and Learning, which is what we toured. That's a really good area. And just kind of continuing to learn more about Norman and see where I end up. But I forgot, I'm here with my dad, David Wong, who's over there, taking a nice video of me.
Thank you very much. Real quick, we have one more thing to do before we turn it over to our program today. I'm so sorry, it's a busy week. Can I please have Charlie Nicholson come up here? Can I see that? Charlie is one of our newest members of our club, and he has been working very hard to get rid of this red badge. And so it's my honor and privilege today to give him his blue badge.
for student athletes. In the rapidly changing landscape, One Oklahoma was not even a thought on the horizon at that point. So today, I would like to introduce Jeff Weber and Allie Weber Miller from One Oklahoma to bring us up to date in the rapidly changing landscape of money and student athletes. Jeff is the CEO of One Oklahoma. Allie is the Chief Marketing Officer of One Oklahoma. Jeff is previously was CEO of Zone TV, which was a leader in AI-powered personalized entertainment experiences. He has a long history of rapidly growing and scaling new and emerging businesses across the sports, media, and technology landscape. He was formerly president of content and advertising with AT&T Uverse, and prior to that, he had roles in TV-led sports marketing at AT&T. And we loved when he had that job because he went around handing out money to people. And sometimes we got to go along with him when he would go to wonderful sports events such as the San Antonio Spurs game. And when the people that were running that event offered to take our grandson, who was 18 months old at the time, down to the nursery, our daughter-in-law, who was a very diligent and attentive mother, said, wait a minute, will he be safe down there? And the person who was being handed off, our grandson Parker, said, well, if it's good enough for David Robinson's son, maybe it'll be good enough for your Parker. So Parker was handed off. Jeff also was instrumental in growing the internet business at SEC Communications. He's held roles in IT, sales, strategy, network operations, marketing, addressing such products as TV, data, wireless, and wireline services. So he's here to bring us up to date and tell you everything that you ever wanted to know about NIL. Jeff is a Norman native. He went to Norman High, the University of Oklahoma, and has an MBA from Northwestern University, the Kellogg School of Management. And Allie Weber is a graduate of the University of North Carolina in sports marketing, and she, as I said, is the Chief Marketing Officer of One Oklahoma. Please help me welcome.
Thank you so much. It's just a real thrill to be here. I'm really excited to talk about NIL. It strikes me that I'm here with my parents, and somehow it seems sweeter with the two impressive students who are here with their parents. And I don't know, I can't quite figure out the difference, but something feels very different. So anyway, thank you so much for the opportunity. So NIL, usually followed by a groan, sometimes my roles, and a little bit of queasiness as we talk about this. And understand that. It is a messy space, and it is complicated, and it is changing. I would love to tell you that at the end of the 30 minutes or so today, it's going to be perfectly clear for you there will be no more questions. Probably not exactly that way. But what I think we can do is help, right? Get a little more clarity, and we'll leave you with hopefully some pretty simple walk-away points to think about. Because at the end of the day, given where we are right now, still messy, still evolving, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think it's really important to understand that the University of Oklahoma, One Oklahoma, the partnership that we have, we are very much, to use the old term, skating where the puck will be. We're building for the future, and we're positioning ourselves well. And I'll talk much more about what that means. So appreciate the opportunity to be here. As a Norman native, as a person who got their undergrad at OU, married my wife, who was my freshman chemistry partner, This place means a lot to me, and coming back after 30 years in business, it was important to me, it is important to us and the One Oklahoma team to do this right and get OU to a place that ensures leadership going forward. I think we're on a path to do that. So I talked about how much has changed. There have really been 3 phases of NIL, and very quickly we'll walk through those. The first was platforms. Alex, you want to advance here? This was the very early days. It was sort of software. Essentially, companies were trying to set up a buy-sell arrangement where brands and athletes got together through software. It was a good notion. Frankly, it didn't work, and people evolved out of that. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these, just in the interest of time. Moved through that first phase very quickly into the second phase, which was nonprofits. The notion here was you people out in the community, to give money to collectives. One Oklahoma is a collective. And that would be a donation. You can take that donation, really philanthropy focused, and that was a model that would work. Slight problem, the IRS said those deductions weren't deductions, which sort of tanked the whole thing, right? So that model very quickly spun up, and equally quickly, at least at OU, went away. Side note, there actually are collectives around the country. There's one about 6 hours south of here that still does donations. We don't know how, but as we've all thought about Texas and bad thoughts, in the collective space, you can continue that. Right? But on the whole, that's going away. Even down in Austin, that's going away now. And we move into this third phase. And the third phase is where we are, and we're moving out of that. And it's just people like me shaking you down as hard as I can to get money. And if we were staying in phase 3, what this presentation would be is me chaining the door and not letting you out till you get it. Lynn told me that was not allowed, so we won't do that, and we're coming out of that phase. And this is really important. That's not sustainable, right? There's only so much people can give, are willing to give, all of those things. And so it's just not sustainable. I talked about we're trying to build for the future. So Lynn was kind enough to talk about my background. What my background sums to is building businesses. Early in the broadband business, with UVerse, early in the TV business, early in the wireless business. Building businesses, that's what I've done my whole career. And at One Oklahoma, that's what we're doing, not a donation-based business, but actual businesses. And I'll talk about what some of those specific things are that give value back to the consumers that sign up with subscriptions, that give value back to corporations that sign up for sponsorships, but not specifically donations. And so that's the evolution. We're moving out of this donor phase into something that is much more sustainable. Okay, so what is that thing called that we're moving into? You'll hear the phrase out there, rev share. That's the shorthand term for where the world is going. And all that means is that there's sort of 2 buckets of money. There is a bucket of money, a big bucket of money, about $20.5 million that universities will pay to athletes to play there. It is very much a professional-like model, different than the professional model, but it's $20 million that get paid to student athletes, and the universities will talk about that. The athletic departments can pay that out as they want to do that. And you'll see this graphic is supposed to represent OU, Texas Tech, Texas, Georgia. Everybody is going to make a determination first Do they want to spend all of that 20.5 million? You don't have to, it's just a cap you can spend. And second, if you want to, whatever number you want to spend, let's use 20.5, because that's what OU will do. How much goes to football? How much goes to volleyball? How much goes to softball, etc. You can imagine those are really important decisions, and of all the things that people in this room know. You want to have all of your sports win. Football pays the bulk of the bills. What does equity look like across sports? At the University of Oklahoma, we're probably going to fund softball. At the University of Nebraska, the equivalent is volleyball, where they're a dominant team. So each school is going to make those decisions. What I can promise you is all the schools up there, SEC, true for Big Ten as well, are probably going to fund football as much as possible. But everybody, and what this is intended to say is Texas, each of its sports funds a little bit differently than OU, than Ole Miss, than Georgia, etc. But that bigger bucket there is football, and everybody's going to fund football as much as possible. That pays the bills here, it pays the bills everywhere, okay? So, rev share is coming. You may have seen the governor's executive order this week. I will promise I won't go through all the legalese and nonsense on that. All that's doing is making it easier to get to where we're going come July of this year, when rev share is intended to be officially implemented. So we're moving very quickly to this rev share model, okay? So far, everything I've talked about as we get into rev share, mostly in this piece doesn't involve One Oklahoma directly. I'm talking about how the university is going to pay and the 20.5 million and all that stuff. That's OU. Where it gets interesting and why One Oklahoma starts to matter, it's certainly in our mind, I think in everybody else's mind, is the way the rules are set up in rev share is you have that 20.5 million, and then One Oklahoma can go generate as much as we can generate in the marketplace on top of the 20.5 million. So OU and Georgia and Texas and LSU have the 20.5 million to go spend. If we can earn $1 or $1 million or $10 million or $100 million, that is in addition to the 20.5. So you can see really quickly, that's how we differentiate, that's how we compete. And so the kicker, and what's really important, and the reason we're building a business and not just donations on the One Oklahoma side, is there's rules around that money that haven't been there in the past, okay? That has to be what is referred to as market-based, meaning a real deal. Let me give you an example of a real deal and not a real deal, okay? John Mateer, our new quarterback, terrific young man, by the way. Gotten to know him a little bit through this last cycle. A business, a car dealer, wants to have John be their spokesperson. They want to pay John 6 figures to do that. That makes sense for them as a business. They're going to drive consumers, they're going to use him in the advertising, they're going to feature him in digital and social. All of those things are a marketing campaign that makes sense. That business is making that decision because they think they're going to get ROI, return on investment, not because they're handing John money. That's a business decision they're making. That's all good. And all of those deals we can do for John Mateer or whomever are good to go do. Okay? Alexis Shelton, women's volleyball player here. She's an aviation major, all right? Really sharp young lady. We're trying to find somebody in the airlines business that wants to feature her, take advantage of her aviation focus, that makes sense for them. Lots of opportunities out there. All of those kinds of deals make sense. Those are true NIL, if you will. As many of those deals as we can go do make sense on top of the 20.5 million. Okay? Those are all good. That's what One Oklahoma is about in part. If we come over to you and say, hey, we need $500,000. We're gonna have Jeremiah Fears sign one autograph, and let's just do that deal. Guess what? That's not okay. That doesn't pass the test with the new, what is referred to as a clearinghouse. That won't be allowed. One Oklahoma can't go do that deal, all right? So the rules around this are, frankly, what all of us want NIL to be, which is these student athletes can make money. That's terrific, but it has to be real. That's what we're in the business of doing, okay? So that's how this is getting set up. So what you see up here are the ways that One Oklahoma is trying to create businesses that bring value back, that allow Sooner fans in some form or fashion to participate. So I'll walk through those pretty quickly. These are all businesses inside of One Oklahoma today that we're building and growing, a subscription business. So you sign up, $15 a month and up, and we do videos, and you have access to student athletes behind the scenes, sort of a mini media business. It's not quite Netflix, but it's a cool way to get to know all of our student athletes and their stories. You can buy merchandise under retail. We will still take donations, by the way, but it's just a very small piece of our business. Marketing. This is an important one in a group like this. These are really corporate marketing deals. Think about the auto deal. We did a $5,000 deal with Sam Godwin at a local pizza place. So these don't have to be huge deals. They can be relatively small. They can be, hundreds of dollars a month, those kinds of things. But they're ways that businesses are using their marketing dollars to drive value back to their business. It happens to feature OU student athletes, so you become part of the community, you're local, all of those good things, and you're taking advantage of those brands and those student athletes brands to drive value back to your business. So that's the marketing piece. Here's an interesting one, and this is where we're having to be really creative to find dollars. Freight. I can promise you when we started a few months ago, I didn't think I was going to be in the freight business, and I know nothing about the trucking business. But here's a partnership we have. So Stevens Trucking, you may have heard of Stevens Trucking, a big trucking firm in Oklahoma. Big OU supporters. Cole Stevens, the son, played baseball at OU. We have a partnership at One Oklahoma with Stevens Trucking. If you have a business and you're using trucking, whatever you're doing, if you move your freight business to Stevens Trucking, they'll give 25% of their margin to One Oklahoma. It's an affiliate relationship that we have. So that's another way that people who want to support OU can participate. As the business, that's a check you're writing today already. It's not a new check we're asking for. You're just moving your business from Freight Company X to Stevens Trucking, who supports OU and One Oklahoma. So another creative way, we think, to really drive and give opportunities for Sooner fans in total to support NIL, to support One Oklahoma. And then investment, I won't talk about that, just standard equity. So I went through those really quickly. What I want you to hear in particular are a couple of things. These are real businesses that in each case are bringing value back to either the consumer or the business that's participating. And maybe most importantly, there's a way for everyone to engage. So if One Oklahoma is on top of the rev share, on top of that 20.5 million, everyone, for us to be successful, we need everyone to engage somehow, some way. In the way you can. Buy a Jeremiah Fears shirt or One Oklahoma coffee. Sign up for a subscription. Move your freight business from Company X to Stevens Trucking. Do a corporate sponsorship. Lots of different ways, or just donate a few dollars. Whatever level makes sense for you as an individual, as a consumer, that's what we're trying to set up for Sooner Nation. Make it really easy and make it make sense for everyone to participate. As we get a broader base of fans participating, OU wins. OU is more competitive in the marketplace and can continue and drive success. And that's, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do. Is make sure we have a lot of ways for fans to participate to the extent that they want, make it make sense for them to participate, and then OU can win as we go forward. We all know how important that is to Norman and the development, etc. So that is a very quick run through of sort of where we've been in NIL, what Oklahoma is trying to do, and how we're going to move forward. So hopefully left plenty of time for questions, because I think that's part of the assert.
Where does one Oklahoma fit in the structure of the university?
Great question. Where does one Oklahoma fit in the structure of the university? Really important, and another fairly complicated. We are not part of the university. Separate entity from the University of Oklahoma. Partnered really, really close with OU. We're the only NIL partner the University of Oklahoma has. So let me just talk about a little bit of the history. We are, I think, the fourth that I know of collective. We don't like to use that term, sort of has a negative connotation out there, but it's what we are, okay? We're the fourth collective at OU. You may have heard of Crimson Cream, you may have heard of Sooner Nation. As we went through those phases, various collectives popped up. We're the fourth and final. We are the official NIL partner for the University of Oklahoma. We are a separate entity. As we started, we had to be separate. And as we sit here today, still must be separate. Cannot be part of the university. I think it's an open question as we go forward. If it can be, I don't think OU's view is it needs to be. So we're as close as you can be, but legally, structurally separate entity. Really important question.
And that goes into the importance of separating out up and into the rev share cap. If we were part of the university, we would fall under the cap.
Really good point.
So we would not be the difference maker that we think we will be and are today.
So,
Who can fire you?
huh?
Who can fire you if they don't like you?
OU can always choose a different partner. Absolutely. I mean, we
You're not a partner.
right. Yeah, that is not lost on me. They remind me almost every day. Sorry.
Help me with the change in NIL. Initially, it was Wayne Tisdale successful on the court. We're selling basketball jerseys. He wants $1. Rest in peace, Wayne. He wants $1 of that jersey. Now it's just paying athletes. What happened in the change between the initial start of NIL and today?
Those damn laws. So what happened is really pretty simple. The Supreme Court said it is unlawful to prevent an athlete from making money off their name, image, and likeness. So you can go make money. And sort of on the face of it, seems sort of fair to me, okay? What has happened is it's morphed into, frankly, people getting paid beyond their name, image, and likeness. And what I am stressing to you is that rev share piece is that. And One Oklahoma, as we move forward, gets back to really, Wayman could have sold a whole lot of shirts with his face on it, right? That makes sense, and he should earn that. And so I think so that's what's changed. And we went through several years of complete mess and, I'll be nice, nonsense. It's about as nice a way as I can say it, where we all know what was happening in the marketplace wasn't that thing that the Supreme Court ruled on, and we are getting back. It's just taken a while. The NCAA did a horrific job of unleashing NIL into the marketplace. I mean, maybe as bad a job as you could possibly do. So, okay, 3-4 years later, here we are. One more point I want to make on where we are. We don't have to like it, and I think we hear it a lot. I don't like NIL. We get lumped in with the portal. I don't know the portal. Please don't ask me about that. I don't like NIL. Okay, I'm not even going to. I'm sort of past trying to convince you should like NIL. What I am telling you is it's here to stay. So what all of us need to decide is, do we dislike NIL more or less than we dislike losing? Because those are the choices. And it's sort of brutally honest, okay? The other side of that is we can't guarantee wins, but we can damn sure guarantee losses, right? Without the money, we will not compete. And I'm sorry, one more thing. You asked a question, I answered 4. These kids that we deal with, we had no idea what we were getting into. These are really good kids. I mean, some of them are from tough backgrounds and all that stuff that we know about in sports, okay? And is money part of their decision? Yes, it is. And it's part of your decision at the place you work too. But it's not the only decision they're making, but the only part of the decision they're making. And I will tell you that Joe C. and the coaches at OU do a terrific job making the money part of the decision. So in football, you've heard about Soul Mission. You look at what KJ does in gymnastics, or Jenny in women's basketball, or Porter. They are building something that, yes, money is part of that decision, but it is not the only part. We're not out there just trying to win a bidding war for every talented kid that we see. They really are building something. So I think you can take off the table the worst of what we hear and what we think at this institution, but you can't take off the table that money's going to be part of that decision as we go forward. Yes, sir.
How does OU's NIL funding rank in the SEC compared to the other schools?
Yeah, how does OU's NIL funding rank? So 2 parts to the answer. The first part is nobody really knows, okay? Because it's not, the data's not out there. And, you know, some of what you hear from agents, if what I hear from agents was true, we're about 300 million short of where we need to be, which is not the case. So when we started 6 months ago, not very good, okay? Right now, I think we're at the sort of 25th percentile of the SEC, as best we can tell. Our football program didn't lose anybody because of money, all right? That much I can guarantee you in this sort of past cycle. So hard to tell generally. I think we had a problem over the last couple of years. In fact, I know we had a problem. When Oklahoma started in June, end of June this 24. So we haven't been around very long. We haven't lost a football player because of money. And
for female Olympic sports, we've
Could you
done
use the microphone, please?
Hello. We have done 4 times as many deals in the last 6 months for female Olympic sports than was there present. And each of those individual deals has been 323% higher than average payouts prior. So it's not just football.
yeah, really important point. We have 260 student athletes under contract. So all of football, all of basketball, all of women's basketball, all of softball, all of women's gym, all of baseball, etc. So we are strongly supportive. Yes.
Does an individual athlete say, I want to be part of this, or does it happen automatically?
Yeah. Does an individual athlete opt in, or is it just part of is it kind of forced in? A little bit of both. So really important to us, every student athlete, the way they're getting paid is through us, okay? So technically they could opt out, so far none of them have, they all want in. They want to get paid. However, and this is really important, they can go do a deal separate from us. So we do not create exclusivity on them that precludes them under these contracts. So if you're John Matier, that's probably a bad example, but if you're somebody that wants to go do, you know, commercials outside of that today, you do not have to go through us. We provide opportunities. 98.7% of the kids don't have those opportunities. It's incumbent upon us to find them, but it's out there if they want.
Okay. I know, we all have a lot of questions. Is there a chance you could stay a few minutes after and answer a few more? Okay. So Jeff will stay a few minutes after, and with Ally, thank y'all both so much for all of your information. I did earlier skip announcements. Board retreat is this Saturday from 9 to 12 at the Norman Public School Administration Building. All board members got an email about that today. I did want to mention to our club members and our guests that we had disposables here today. We normally get on regular plates, but the disposal here in the dishwasher area is broken, so that's why we're using disposables. And I want everyone to understand. So please mark your calendar. Rotary after hours has changed to the fourth Thursday. We're going to kind of move it around, make sure other people can attend. So look at your newsletter and make sure. I mean, you can go today, but we're not going to be there. Congratulations to Charlie for his blue badge, and Jamie, thank you for your red talk. And thank you for all of our guests, student of the month, your parents, all of that for coming. Thank you, Whitney and Doe, for bringing your guests, and we will see y'all soon. We are adjourned.
You guys have a great day.